Good morning. I got a call today in the morning from another real estate agent that he has a client that is looking to buy a property, and she's on a really tight schedule, and if I can take the lead. And this one is all the way in Indiana, and I have to be in Indiana today anyway because I have to go and take some trash out in one of my properties. So I was like, you know what, I'll take the lead. I'm gonna be out there anyway. So she wants to see homes really early this morning, so I'm getting ready really quickly so I can go meet her. We're gonna go to Gary, Indiana, near Miller Beach. Miller Beach is a really beautiful place, and so she wants to buy a property out in Miller Beach as an investment property, either to rent long-term or do Airbnb with. So I'm getting ready right now to go meet up with her, and then I have to go to my building and I have to take out a bunch of trash in my basement because I want to end up renovating the basement unit. So I'm gonna go with my dad and my boyfriend to take everything out. So that's gonna be a whole nother job, and then I have to go get my daughter from school and yeah, see where the day goes. But it's gonna be a long day. So I am literally trying to multitask because she wants to see these properties so early. So I'm trying to get ready and book the showings at the same time. I have to leave in 30 minutes to get there on time. And then I'll give you guys a quick update on what has been going on. I had some issues in my building. I have a building in Indiana, and I had some issues there with one of my tenants. One of my tenants had a leak in her bathroom. This was maybe like a month ago, and so then she didn't want to give me any rent until I got it fixed, which, you know, that's not really the way it should work. So I had someone go out there to fix the leak, and he ended up leaving them without water for the weekend, which I would understand the frustration that, you know, there was no one there during the weekend. But my tenant ended up calling the city on me, and so then I had an inspector walk my property, and basically I got violations on my building. So then that meant that I had to hire a contractor that was licensed in the area. A lot of my contractors that I work with are not licensed. So then I had to tell my tenant, now you have to wait longer because you called the city and I have to hire someone that's licensed. And that was, you know, that was gonna take some time to do. You know, there was a lot of frustration, and, you know, we were not getting along. You know, she refused to pay rent, so I went to court and I filed an eviction. You know, I really didn't want to do it. I don't think any landlord wants to deal with an eviction. And so finally I got a licensed contractor, hired him to do the work this week. And as he was doing the work, I was there to make sure that he got it done on a timely basis. And I ended up having a conversation with the tenant that I was going to evict. And, you know, we always got along. There was never an issue between us until this happened. And I told her, you know, I said I won't go through with the eviction, but, you know, you have to pay me rent. And obviously she agreed to it, and we came to good terms, and I let it go. So I hope I don't regret this. I don't think I will. I've never really had issues with her until this leak happened, and you know, she was left without water for the weekend. But you know, I decided to give her some grace, and so I am going to withdraw the eviction. You know, I'm happy that we were able to figure that out, because that was really on my mind the past week, of having to go to court and get all that stuff done. It's not fun. It is not fun. You know, I really don't put a lot of makeup on. I'm really not a huge makeup person. I usually just do concealer, light foundation, and I'll do my eyebrows. Sometimes I'll put mascara on, and then I just call it a day. So right before my showing in Gary, Indiana, I went to Menards to make a pit stop to pick up some materials that I was going to be using for my building renovation. So we came to Menards to get some material for some of the work that needs to be done in my building here in Indiana. And I'm going to start work on my basement unit. So I'm getting some new locks and some more garbage bags because we have a bunch of trash that needs to be taken out from the basement. And then one of my tenants said that she needs a new filter for the furnace, so I'm gonna get that as well. So when I get locks, I always like to get the quick set. This is the one I usually go with because you don't have to change the entire lock. If someone leaves, you just have to change the keys. So this is the one I always go with since I have to change the locks in the basement, since we're gonna start rehabbing that unit. We made it out to Miller Beach here in Gary, Indiana. So we're gonna check out this small, cute little house. So we're gonna open the lock box up. Here we are. Yeah, he had like a little break, so that's why he's been like with me. Because usually I don't take anyone, but because he has had time, he's come with me. Yeah. But hey, so I got the contract back signed. Yeah, but they countered. They countered with the survey. It would be an out-of-pocket expense for you.
Oh, okay.
So we order the survey, and then it goes through the title company. You just pay at closing. I'm gonna upload the information through DocuSign and then send it to you for signatures.
Okay.
After the showing ended, we headed back to my building. So I am finally here at my building. I actually had a landscaper come by so he can cut the grass, and yeah, there was a lot of work that needed to be done here. So he came to cut the grass and then do some weed work. And then I have some contractors here to give me a quote on the basement unit that I'm trying to rehab. I have my dad here because we're gonna pick up some of the trash that we had in the basement, so I can start the work in the garden unit. Gracias, pa.
You're welcome.
Shortly after, I met with contractors so I can get a quote for the electrical in the garden unit. So we are just coming back home. We went to my property in Indiana, and I was able to take out the rest of the trash so we can have a clean basement, have a clean canvas so we can start building it out. So really the first set of work that needs to be done in the basement is the electrical and the plumbing. I had someone do the electrical like 3 years ago when I first bought the building and didn't really know what I was doing. So it's kind of messed up in there. Like the wires are all over the place. I hired this guy that ended up not finishing up the work. So I had a contractor go out there, and he looked at the place and he's like, wow, he's like, this is a disaster. And I was like, I know, it needs a lot of work. So he went around and checked the outlets, how many outlets I want in the bedrooms. And I think it was originally set up with one outlet on each wall. And I think that's the way I'm gonna just stick with it for now, is just have one outlet against each wall. And I'm gonna have recessed lighting. So I have like 6 lights in the living room, and then I'll have like another 6 lights in the kitchen. I think some of the outlets from what they had originally done, because it's a basement, they need to lift them up just in case there's flooding, since you know there tends to be more risk of flooding in the basement. So he was going to move some of the outlets a little bit further up from the ground. So one of the things that I love about Indiana is that in Indiana you can use Romex for electrical, versus in Chicago they're really strict and you have to use conduit. I most likely will end up going with Romex just because it tends to be a little bit cheaper to do it that way. So I'm just waiting for him to get me a bid. I'm gonna try to get oh, thank you. I'm gonna try to get a bid from another contractor just to make sure, you know, I'm negotiating and seeing what other people can do for me. I'll probably get another electrical quote next week and see where it goes from there. But the first thing that I have to do is electrical and plumbing. So hopefully I get that out of the way. And once I'm done with the electrical and plumbing, then it's the drywall, the floors, the cabinet. After that, the work is a lot easier. But I want to make sure that my electrical and plumbing, you know, is taken care of first, because that is like the major part of the work that needs to be done. So I'm on my way right now to go pick up my daughter at school. I don't know what we're gonna do today, but it is a really nice day, so maybe we'll take her to the park. But I hope you guys enjoyed following me on a day in my life as a real estate agent. You know, obviously my life has been kind of chaotic because I'm trying to fix this building and I've had so many issues with it, and I just want things to go smoothly going forward because I have that going on with my building, and then I still have to service my clients. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you like, don't forget to like and subscribe.